A man loses his hand from touching voodoo witch doctor's curse items. So I heard about the full 4X's already, and I mess with 4X's, but uh, man, after I heard about this, like, remember when he lost his hand and stuff from like fireworks? I guess this is what happened. This is why. It's because, somebody used all that weirdo stuff on him, that weird spell stuff. So yeah, this this gets spiritual, man. Now he lost his hand, like it's crazy. I don't think he's gonna be able to fight no more. Taking the fates and stuff. Let's go.
All right, guys. Now, before you even say that I'm reaching on this one, just listen to me. Hear this lady out. Peep the cup right there on the table with this skull, right? This is an item that's holding holy voodoo water, right? Now, this other guy is going to touch this cup, right? And the water's going to spill. Now, this guy leaning in with the short haircut right here is going to touch this guy's hand, the one that's on the table, the guy in the blue. Now, after all this happens, this guy's going to blow his hand off. Right now, listen to the story. Listen to the details that she says, because the woman that's in this video is a root worker. She understands what she's talking about. Now, you and I, we're Christians. At least most of you watching this channel are Christians. So we have to look at this through the spiritual lens of what's actually going on here, guys. And we have to see the demonic attack for what it actually is. Now, watch this video. Then I'm going to play a couple of clips after this video of the guy with his hand blown off. Obviously, it's not going to be the actual bloody, gory fingers blown off everywhere, but it's going to be him afterwards. And then I'm going to play another video of the guy gesturing with his hands where he, in a roundabout way, admits to using voodoo to do this exact thing to him. This is crazy, guys. We got to be really, really careful about who we interact with, what people are into. But most importantly, guys, we got to be covered by the blood of Jesus out here.
So I want to show you guys an example of how a trick is laid in hoodoo. So for those of you that are not familiar with land tricks in hoodoo is a way that you can actually root a person, get in their vicinity to root them without them actually knowing what you're doing. So for those of you that don't know the backstory, so this guy here is 4EXTRAS. He came to the podcast to get some straightening with 607 Unc about some stuff that was said, right, in regards to his set. So he came standing on business, and 607 Unc was actually in a very dangerous situation where he could have possibly not been able to walk out of here, alive. And right before the scene that I'm about to get ready to play for you guys, 607 Unc said that he came there with protection. He had a protection jar. And if you can see it, that's the jar right there inside his cup. He said that the jar exploded on his way to the podcast. Basically, his ancestors warning him not to go. Now, for those of you that don't know, 607 Unc proclaims that he is a witch doctor. But we're going to say that he's a root worker. But he practices voodoo. And so his protection jar blew on the way, letting him know that he was in definite danger, and it was a warning, but he still went anyway. And this guy here had a bunch of people outside ready to, cause him some harm. But what happened?
Imagine being able to build an app
to this guy here, 4EXTRAS. I believe with in regards to his hand being blown off by some fireworks. I think that it actually came from what I'm about to get ready to show you guys in this clip. Now, I don't know if it was intentional, but what I do know is that when you are a spiritual person, your ancestors protect and cover you at all times. So even though his original protection failed him, they still backed him up. And I'm going to show you how. So just watch this clip real quick.
Don't think you can fight. Listen, he set you over to fight with his blood, nigga, right? And he said you ducked the fade, right? I saw him. No, listen, tell what he told me. He said duck the fade. He said when he get in here, he text me. He said when he get in here, tell him he ducked the fade. But you want to fight him? But you want to beat my ass, all right? But he gonna beat my ass. Oh shit!
So right there, he touched the cup and he knocked it over. Now, a lot of people are saying that because he touched the cup is the reason why his hand exploded, and that, you know, got blown off in a firework explosion, and that could have been the case. But me personally, being a root worker and understanding how tricks are laid, and again, I don't know if it was an intentional trick laid by 607, but this is definitely how tricks are laid. But me understanding that, I don't think that it was because he touched the cup per se, but I think it's about what's about to happen, what I'm about to show you now. I'm thinking that is probably what actually triggered the trick to work.
First off, let me tell you. First off,
So watch what this guy right here does.
Hey, you hear me? That's hey, look, no, it ain't gonna protect.
Now remember, this dude right here wiped the water off of the table with 607 Unc. Now watch this.
You hear me? Who told me? You trying to get mine now?
So yeah, 4EXTRA did touch the cup and knock the cup over, but I don't really think that's what really set the trick in. I think when this guy in 4EXTRA touch hands, that's what activated the water. And exactly 2 weeks later, this dude fingers got blown off in a firework explosion, and he was temporarily blind.
Wow.
So the spiritual water that was in that cup, I think, was the ancestors' last attempt to protect 607 Unc and to basically let this dude know that he's not a bully. Like, you can't play with spiritual people. You cannot play with anybody that is spiritually protected, whether they practice hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, candomblé, whatever your spiritual practice is. When you are aligned with the ancestors, you are protected. So again, I don't necessarily know if this was intentional. I don't believe it was intentional, but the fact that he came with the cup that had holy water in it, and then he had a protection jar. You know, he brought the spirit in the room with him. His ancestors had his back, and because of it, all of the bullying that this dude was doing, he ended up, you know, the ancestors had to show him that they're nothing to play with. But
No, there's a comment over here that says, clapping 3 times is activation in many workings. And a lot of people are saying, just like this woman said, that the clapping when they slapped high fives 3 times, that was the activation that this root work actually was needing for the trick to work out. Now, I want to play you this clip.
And I don't even supposed to be taking this off.
4EXTRA get emotional when revealing his hand after the fireworks injury.
I want to show people in the world. I don't supposed to take this off. The doctor only supposed to take this off. The hospital only supposed to take this off. At first I was in a sling. I couldn't move. So I've been building myself in my head to get stronger and stronger. Because that's how I was built. So I got my hand out the sling, I could move it.
Yeah.
And I started seeing how the doctor moved, take my stuff, and I started healing myself.
For sure.
I'm sorry to say, but I'd rather die before I give up. I'd rather just go what God got planned for me before I give up. Here, I want the world to see. This ain't gonna never break me.
Yeah, you're too strong to be broken, man. And that's facts. If you've been in a car accident recently,
No, this is like, it's messed up, man. It's sad, but like, I guess this is another way of God saying, man, you gotta just put the fist down, cause you know, if you know 4EXTRAS, he known for good, beating people up, fighting a lot, especially in prison. He said he took one at a time, obviously not everyone all together, but he took like 10 to 20 people or something like that in prison, one at a time. And after he beat one, he got the next one. You know what I mean? So he was a good fighter. But I think God saw that and it's like, stop fighting, bro. Let me humble you and come to me. Like, stop fighting. Like, he was really good at fighting in prison, I guess. So, it sucks, but it's just, he's humble. He's more humble now, is what I see. But yeah, that is a sad thing. I mean, imagine, like, I wouldn't want to lose this. You gotta be grateful for what you have.
And I don't even supposed to be taking this off. But I want the whole world to see everybody that supported me is to never break me. The doctor that did this, he saved my hand, saved my finger, half of my thumb, and my hand, my knuckles. Could nothing ever stop me. I can't take the rest of this off because I got metal pins all in it. It's metal pins all in it. You can see the skin.
That's messed up.
In my opinion, this guy looks like he's definitely not the same guy. Like the first guy was talking a lot of, big talk, not humble, very prideful. And these are open doorways to demonic activity in your life as well, guys. Pride, arrogance, big bravado, macho status. That's prideful. And he was, if you guys, I know it was probably hard to understand. 607 Unc is very hard to understand, but he was talking about this dude right here on the screen and some other guys having some gang beef. And so through that, the whole interview was for those two guys to squash the beef, to clear the air. And obviously we see what happened from that.
607 Unc speaks on the rumors of him putting voodoo on 4EXTRAS, making his hand explode.
Now, since our last interview, there's been some real unfortunate situations.
He's gone, bro. He's out there. He's doing too much. And that voodoo, like, you tell he's just high off of them demons. At that point, look at him, like, he can't even control it either. He's so, like, deep into that he can't, he's just showing it in, like, a drug-looking way, but it's like, them demons just got him, man. It's just messed up.
With 4EXTRAS hand. He unfortunately blew it off with what looks like an M1000. But, today some pictures just released. It's bandaged up, but you could clearly see that he doesn't have any fingers. It was
look at it.
A pretty sad situation.
Listen, you know about the universe, Capone? You know about the universe? A lot of people like to say it's karma, right? But karma is like an echo. Let me tell you what I mean. Every time you do something in the universe, that same echo happens because the earth is hollow. So since the earth is hollow, every time you do something, it echo. So if a bad person or evil person do something, it's going to echo right back at them. Let me tell you what I mean. In the penitentiary, 4EXTRAS knocked out a man with one arm, right? And the man had one arm. Now 4EXTRAS have one hand. So maybe that's that echo. Or maybe I did voodoo. The world will never know.
Right
hey, that was my next.
He put voodoo on him right there. He said it. But obviously, yeah. I mean, maybe also that double down to the, the reaping what you sow, the little karma stuff, like reaping what you sow. If you knock down someone with one arm, obviously he's gonna have one hand. Like, it kind of makes sense. So at least he didn't lose his whole arm. But it's like, you know what I mean? He did get back what he did to somebody. You know what I mean? Fighting someone with one hand, come on, that's something respectable to me. Like, but yeah, Forrest is a real fighter in that. But like, why one arm though? But I guess he had to. You know what I mean? Or else, what would have happened? But like, also, I think the biggest thing right there is he put that voodoo on him, man. That ain't right, man. Like, this guy is definitely doing bad stuff right now. voodoo stuff. Come on, that guy is deep too. Crazy.
Next question. Everybody
Yeah, the
thinks
world
you
will
did
never
some
know.
voodoo.
Yeah, the world will never know.
So you're not denying doing any voodoo?
Listen. You heard of karmic debt before?
Yes.
Karmic debt is when you do something against the universe, it got to come back around on you. Listen, everything that happened to people is internal. I can't do nothing from nobody. Everything that happened to people, they do it to themselves. Right? Because that's how the world works, Capone. It's a boomerang. When you do something, it comes right back at you. So how you gonna blame me for it? You put yourself in the earth. I just kicked away the chair.
Take that the way that you want to, but to me, it sounds like he flat out told you, you put yourself there. I'll just kick the air out from under you, or I'll just kick the chair out from under you. Now, if you look in his cup right here, he's got sticks in there. Why do you have sticks in a cup unless you are, actively protecting yourself and covering yourself in protection right now with some type of whatever that would be called. I don't know what these tools are called in other religions, other voodoo faiths, but this dude, man, obviously, he might sound crazy, he might look crazy, but it's all a show. This dude even says that he's in the Illuminati. And he said that he sacrificed one of his sons. And now I don't know how much of all this stuff is actually true, because a lot of people say shocking things just to get notoriety and blow up. But I definitely think that this is not a rumor, that he actually did put voodoo on this guy for him to, come and lose his hand. But this is why you got to be covered by the blood of Jesus, guys. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you if you're covered by the blood of Jesus, right? It doesn't mean go looking for it. It doesn't mean go, put yourself in positions like this guy did, to where you can have an argument with somebody that's known to do voodoo and to be a witch doctor. Just don't play with it. You shouldn't be so prideful. You shouldn't be so arrogant and boastful and proud to where you think that you can go handle and go toe to toe with somebody like that when you're not covered by the blood of Jesus, right? Jesus is the only one that saves. Jesus is the only one that can protect you from this stuff. Remember, when, Elijah was going up to talk about the prophets of Baal, 450 prophets of Baal, and he's telling them, "Oh, make your God do this, make your God do that. Come burn up the altar." And their God didn't show any action. And then Elijah had God, big God, the God, move on his behalf to prove to them that their God was false. None of these gods are real. Like, yes, sure, these guys can get some power, some ability to do some things in the spiritual realm, but ultimately, God has the final say. Jesus is the one that created all this stuff. So how are they going to use creation to hurt someone that's covered by the Creator? Makes no sense to me. So leave your thoughts down below. Have you guys ever heard anything like this? If you have a story or someone like that put it down below in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until
That's crazy, man. You know, 4EXTRAS, hopefully, you know what I mean? He's still doing good. He's just holding it down and stuff. I mean, losing a hand is insane. I would hate that, right? And then, you can tell, obviously, that guy's in some voodoo. And the dude reacting, he's saying some facts. And I think y'all should be listening up to that. You know what I mean? I think y'all should be going to God, going to Jesus, man, praying to him, man. He helped me and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Just try and follow him. Just go to Jesus, man, like, for real. But yeah, dude, all that voodoo stuff, man, like that's just like some bad stuff right there. I would never want to get caught up into that. You could tell in his face, he's all deep in it. I mean, his face was showing it all too. And then he said maybe it was a voodoo I put on him. That's why he lost his hand. I mean, he just said it right there. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that.